Hi. You know, I don't think I've ever made any secret of the fact that I'm kind of cheap. I really am. I buy my shirts at TJ Maxx and Marshalls. I buy my blue jeans online from Sierra Trading Post. And I found a new website that I absolutely love. It's new to me. It's not new. It's called GearScan, Gearscan. And what it is a site that monitors several deal of the day sites, including one called, I think, Steep and Cheap. Looked that up here real fast, but I believe it's steepandcheap.com is the kind of the principal site on GearScan. It is Steep and Cheap. And it's a gear site that has a lot of hunting and camping equipment, a lot of knives, some clothing, although not a tremendous amount. In the winter I noticed they had kayaks and a lot of stuff. But because I'm a bargain hunter, I just couldn't help myself. I bought a couple knives from it. I just want to do a quick review on these knives and what I think about them for the money, and also about what I think about the website. I'm going to close that out so I quit staring at it. The first knife I bought was a Kershaw, and it was advertised as a skinning knife, and in other places it said it was a mini, M-I-N-I, mini skinning knife. And this is a great knife, and I'm going to pull the camera over in a minute, show you a little bit more close up about it, but it is definitely small. I was really surprised when I got this out and saw just how small the knife is. I mean, this is my hand right here. And as you can see, I mean, the sheath, if I do it this way, maybe it's easier to see. I mean, it is literally I can cover it with my hand. And I mean, I have a fairly large hand, but I'm no NBA basketball player. I mean, I wear an XL glove. And so this is tiny. It really is. However, it is amazingly sharp, and I have a lot of good things to say about it, but just be warned if you buy it that it is small. The second one I bought, which I was very, very interested in, it sells under the name Light My Fire on a lot of websites. The actual maker of the knife is, I guess that's pronounced Dajo. It may be Dayo or something, I don't know. But it's it's sold by, like I said, a company called Light My Fire, and it is a kind of a survivor, you know, SHTF type knife, camp knife. Great little sheath, got some extra cord. I don't believe that's paracord. It looks just like regular shoelace cord, but still. And it comes with a small fire steel enclosed and a whistle, which is fairly loud. And that all comes in a kit. And the knife has a indentation in the back right here to use with the fire steel, and it also has a hollowed out spot in it, which I'm not, if there's an actual purpose for that, I guess I just don't understand what it is. Very nice little sheath and fairly nice sized. To give you a reference, well, actually I'll do it when I get over there. I'm going to reset the camera, and where you can actually look down on them a little more, and I'll do a size comparison on them and just a few quick things that I think about them. Both of those knives were very inexpensive. So let me get my camera moved and I'll be right back. Just a couple of quick things to go ahead and cover with you. The Kershaw is an American-made knife, and it's it looks like the model is a 1080R, I believe. I actually, in addition to my glasses, have to have a magnifying glass. It is a 1080OR, and stamped made in America. Like I say, it's not a very big knife. It is 6 inches overall with a 2.5 inch blade, which is smaller than it. I read that, but that's actually smaller than it sounds. But it is literally just a hair-popping sharp knife. I mean, it's incredible. That's right out of the box with no, by the way, if you do that, be sure you don't pull the knife sideways while you're doing it, or you'll end up with a nasty cut. But that's right out of the box. It is a good steel. I remember reading on the description, and I don't see it in here what the steel is, but I remember it being a good steel that I've had in knives before. It comes with the box and a manual. The retail on this, I think, was shown to be about $40. And on the GearScan site, I don't see the steel on here. On the GearScan site, this knife was about I think it was about $18, which I considered a bargain. It was enough to hook me as a bargain hunter. And I'm pleased with it. I think I'll actually, probably with this knife, make a small neck sheath for it and actually carry it as a like a emergency, like a neck knife. And it's got a little bit of black staining and stuff on the handles. That actually came from me cutting a couple of things with it, and I didn't cut anything that would change the sharpness of the blade. I just cut a couple pieces of paper with it, and then shoving it in and out of the sheath. But as you can see, that's, like I say, that's a factory edge. So that's an impressively sharp knife. And at that price, I mean, at the around the $20 mark, I think it is a tremendous bargain. I don't know how well it would hold up to batoning. It has some nice jimping on the back, and to hold like this and do fine work, or even to put your finger under and come up through the stomach, I think this would be a tremendous small game skinning knife. I'd sure hate to go to work on an elk or something with this. The sheath was a little bit of a disappointment, and I'm not critical because I'm a leather worker, because my leather working is just, you know, I mean, I make a lot of hybrid holsters and I make a great one, but, you know, my leather holster is nothing special. But anyway, this was a little bit of a disappointment. I don't know, it was, but like I say, the whole package was around $18 to $20, and I mean, at that price, it's awful hard to gripe about not getting a top-tier custom sheath. And it does fit good. It's just a little basic. There's a rivet up here at the top, nothing down at the bottom, but it does have the extra piece of leather down the middle that would keep you from puncturing the thread. Anyway, on the whole, I rate that as a heck of a buy for any time you can find one of these on one of the sale sites at around $20. And like I say, GearScan has been running them very, very often. The other knife is actually, like I say, a little bit bigger knife. As you can see, it's at least an inch longer. It measures out to 7.5 inches overall, with actually a 3 3/4 inch blade, so it's split about 50-50. I like the size of it a little better. I'm gonna put this one up because, like I showed you, it's so sharp that I don't want to accidentally cut my hand with it. This one is not an American-made knife. It's stamped China. It also was, I think this knife was closer to 15 than it was to 20. Seemed like it was about 15 or 16 bucks. It has a great, very nice sheath. Not only does it have the Velcro attachment on the back that you could use to put it into your molly gear or, you know, some other type of attachment, but it also has a nice belt loop on top, although the belt loop is Velcro. And I mean, after a while, I suppose the Velcro could wear out and the guy may end up having to put a little rivet in it or run some stitching through it or something. Velcro with me has always been kind of a mixed bag. I love the convenience, but at the same time, after a while, I noticed that it normally gives out. You could also just for that matter, you could just cut a couple slots in it rather than stitch it if you didn't have the means to stitch it. But that being said, it's an awful nice sheath, especially for something that only costs, you know, like I say, about 15 bucks. And in the sheath are the striking rod and the whistle that I already demonstrated. The striking rod is works very well. If you're ever using one of these, if you haven't used a striking rod and knife much, you're much better off, if you can, to try to pull the rod rather than hold the rod still and try to push the knife. The less movement in the knife, the less chance for energy. Also, if you will pull away from whatever you're striking on, you got to get to a spot that doesn't have the black coating on there. There we go. Like that. If you'll pull away from what you're trying to strike, you'll have less chance of knocking your tinder loose. The G10 on this, the other knife also had a nice G10. I should have covered that. I apologize to run back to it real fast. But it's got a nice micarta or G10 or some type of synthetic with Allen screws holding the scales on. And I really like those. Great grip. They're already, like I say, discoloring quite a bit from the black leather, but still, I think it's a really good handle on it. And it does have a loophole on the other one for a lanyard, although it doesn't come with a lanyard. This one comes with a lanyard on the sheath, but not an extra piece of lanyard for the knife. I really love, let me double check on that. Nope, it does not. I really love this knife. I love the accessories with it. I love the sheath. I love the size. I love the fit. It does not have any jimping, which I wish that it did, just because I like that a little bit. But, I mean, it's not that necessary. For years, knives didn't have it. I assume this is some kind of a blood groove slot or something. That I don't know. The thing that concerns me, I would be worried on this. If I was trying to baton any kind of wood, I would be afraid that that could deform. Maybe not, but I do think that that might weaken it to the point where batoning could become an issue with it. The other thing, maybe it was just this one, I don't know, but the sharpness of it out of the box is horrible. I mean, it, as you can see, it will slice through the paper. And I know that that looked fairly sharp, but if you compare it on the hairs and stuff, I mean, as you can see, it's going down through there and it's pulling a couple of hairs off. But I mean, the other one just literally went down through there like a barber on my arm. This one, on the other hand, I can drag it across there, and I mean, I've got to really push, and I get about half as much hair. So it's not dull. Don't get me wrong. It's plenty camp sharp, I suppose. But I was surprised that they didn't. Nowadays, when you look at the Cold Steels and the Spydercos and the Benchmades and the various knives and the Kershaws, which all the Kershaws I've ever bought have been sharp, it is a little bit of a disappointment to just find kind of a so-so edge. Like I say, it does cut paper, although you have to kind of saw through it a little bit. And it does shave, but you really got to put a lot more pressure on it. And so I just, you know, in a sharpness, this is a 6 on a 10 scale compared to a 9 or a 10. But like I say, it has a lot of other good things going for it. It does also have a lanyard hole here if you wanted to use it. And it has right out of the box what I think is a very functional sheath. Anyway, check me out, fightinggear.com. I'll get some more review stuff up. Like I say, that website was gearscan.com, or you can go straight to steepandcheap.com if you want. The advantage with GearScan is it monitors 4 sites instead of just one. And so you can look for a lot of different deals. And like I say, I'm always on the hunt for a bargain, so I just thought I'd pass that along. Plus, give you my thoughts on a couple of knives that are on there pretty regularly right now. This being April 29th of 14. Now, if you're watching this video a year after I make it, these will probably be gone. But what they do is they just liquidate stuff till they run out of it, and then they move on to the next item. Anyway, thanks a lot. I appreciate you guys' support. I appreciate any of you subscribers, and if you haven't subscribed and do, I'd appreciate that. I'll try to keep the ads and stuff off. If you send me a comment, don't make it some negative flame or I'm going to delete it. No F words, anything like that. But other than that, I'd love to hear from you. Thanks a lot. You guys have a good night.